Guys, it is J Star Wars 360 here with my predictions for what are going to be the top 10 summer movies this year. And when I say top 10, I don't mean in terms of popularity. I'm thinking which ones are going to make the most money. Again, as you guys know, I'm a really big film buff, as evidenced by the amount of stuff on my channel. And, you know, again, while I have my own fears as to which movies are going to be good and all, although in all honesty, most of the movies coming out this year look like crap, but more on that when I do my thoughts going into videos for each of them. Well, not crap, but nothing interesting. I figured I saw Screen Junkies, they did like their annual predictions for what are going to be the top 10 summer movies, and I thought, why not do my own? So I'm going to do them. Now, again, this isn't the finite list. I could be completely wrong about some stuff, but again, I'm just doing this list because I think it would be fun to predict, and at the end of the summer, just look and say what was I right about, what was I wrong about. So what I'm basically gonna do is I'm gonna run down my list, starting from number 10, number 1, and my thoughts on why I put each one there and why. And now again, this was really hard to do. Just because, again, there's so many movies and I can't be right. So, again, don't hold me to everything. And if you disagree with something on the list, please feel free to challenge me. And just make sure you do this now, though, and not before a week when the Amazing Spider-Man 2 hits theaters and the summer movie season officially starts. So, yeah. So, let's go. So, first, I want to give an honorable mention. Well, this isn't really an honorable mention, but, and again, when I'm arguing why a film is the way it is, I'm mainly just going off of box office stuff or how films, if it's a sequel, how the previous ones have done or how similar ones have done, and also just marketing. I'm generally just gonna get. It's based on a lot of it. Yeah, you'll see. So first, I want to do an honorable mention. This is like a film I didn't have room for on my top 10 list, but I still thought, you know what, why not? It's the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It looks like crap, but you know what? There's been a lot of crappy live-action movies out there. There's Smurfs, there's Alvin the Chipmunks, so it should come as no surprise that this film is. It's probably going to get terrible reviews, mind you, but there's tons of little kids who probably love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and will watch. I mean, I went and saw Alvin the Chipmunks when I was a little boy. Or I remember, no, here's a perfect example. When I was a little kid, I loved Scooby-Doo. And there was this live-action Scooby-Doo movie that came out. And I feel like if I was older, I would probably look at it and go, that looks like crap. But as a little kid, I thought, oh, cool, Scooby-Doo movie. Why not go see it? And I did. And I think a lot of little kids who, because when you're a little kid, you really don't know a lot of crap. What's crap and what's not. So I'm sure tons of little kids are going to go see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. But negative reviews and Michael Bay and April should keep it there. Again, I don't think it's going to make a ton. I'd be very surprised if it made a ton of money, but I don't think. So, number 10, I have 22 Jump Street. I have 3 comedies in here. I didn't put A Million Ways to Die in the West in here. I wanted to, but at the same time, because, it's like 10, 7 from I'm like, there's so many comedy access. I feel like I have to cut one off, and I feel like 22 Jump Street does have an edge because while it didn't do that well, it is a comedy that got received pretty well. And again, there's pretty good marking for it. The reason why it's low on the list is one, again, I don't think the first one did that well. Again, A Million Ways to Die in the West, I think, could easily overtake it. I mean, in retrospect, I think I was really debating because Ted made a lot of money. 22 Jump Street really didn't do as well. It didn't make as much money, but it got much better received. I just find it really funny. And at the same, and they're gonna say from the makers of Ted, but at the same time, 22 Jump Street is a sequel. But at the same time, I put almost because again, I'm probably going in circles, but Hangover 2 was a big sequel, and again, sequels tend to do better than the first, but at the same time, with films like Hangover 2 dudding, people might be skeptical. Also, it's coming out the same day as How to Train Your Dragon 2, which is gonna clean house. Number 9, I have Neighbors. It looks skeptical, but this is done by the same guys who did This Is the End. And and from what I hear, it's some people are saying it's really good. If this movie gets buzz like this one guy at Screen Junkie said, it could take off. And it's also done by the same guys who did This Is the End, which went over. I didn't get to see it, but I heard it was really funny. So again, well, I'm just blanking out. But yeah, Neighbors I think will do well again. But I don't think any of these movies will make money. Guardians of the Galaxy is number 8. It's another Marvel movie. Marvel movies tend to do pretty well. I don't think it'll do extremely well because it's not a sequel. It's an original. Marvel's kind of taking a gamble with this movie. It's a new group no one's ever heard of. It'll make money because it's August. There isn't that much competition in August. Also, it's a Marvel movie, and those tend to do well. If this movie is really good though? Like if this movie is like really good, like Iron Man good or something, and word gets out it's really good, it could take off. But as it stands, it's kind of low. Next up, I have X-Men: Days of Future Past. It should make money. I mean, it's done. It seems like it's going to be a really big, cool movie. Plus, it's a sequel. I don't have it higher on the list. I have Amazing Spider-Man 2 higher, primarily because Days of Future Past, again, it's a little later in May. Things are a little more crowded. Plus, X-Men movies, they haven't really... None of them have really made that much money. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 2 has made way more money. And it's been up and down with X-Men movies. I mean, if this one gets really good word of mouth, maybe it'll do better, but as it stands right now, I have it low. Number 6, I feel like I should put this movie higher on my list just because of how well a similar film did, Maleficent. The last live-action Disney movie, it did really well. Alice in Wonderland, it made like $1 billion. I forget how, and a lot of people really like that. So I think Maleficent will do good. Again, my only concern is that again, maybe some people are tired of it, of the live action. I mean, not everyone liked not everyone liked the live action Alice in Wonderland movie. Actually, I might switch them. So Maleficent's now number 5. Again, just because it did really well. I mean, if it gets mixed reviews, I think it might go down, but as it stands, good. I originally had this at number 5, but now I'm considering switching it to number 6. Godzilla. This film has really cool marketing. It looks really cool. I have no doubt it's going to be a big movie. Again, I just think Maleficent benefits a bit more because, again, Alice in Wonderland did phenomenally well. This is very similar. A lot of people love Alice in Wonderland live-action film. And the concept of getting another movie like that is probably exciting to a lot of people. But Godzilla's really good, too. I mean, looks really cool marketing-wise, but I have no doubt it'll do really well. But if it gets mediocre reviews, it could slope down. Number 4, I have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This film, I haven't seen it, but I hear it's pretty good. Everyone says the movie looks cool. But also the first one did really well. Sequels tend to do better than the first one unless it gets terrible word of mouth. But yeah, assuming the sequel rule that it'll make more money, I'm sure this film will be big, and considering the first one was big, I think this one will be even bigger. And also, it's coming out in July. It's the biggest movie coming out in July, so it doesn't have any competition whatsoever. So I think it'll do really well. Next, I have Transformers 4. Again, I think this movie is going to do really well at the box office. Again, Transformers movies tend to do really well. Even crappy sequels tend to do really well. Do really well. And yeah, Transformers do really well. Although I'm really debating whether or not I should have this at number 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 2. I currently have that one at number 2. First one did really well. It's in a much better position than the first one. It's first movie coming out, and it has the summer movie excitement going. I mean, Iron Man 3 had that, and that it made an insane amount of money opening weekend. and I'm guessing Sony hopes to have so much success with Amazing Spider-Man. The one thing I think that might hold it back is not everyone was too big on the reboot, and I think some people might be skeptical. Also, there's been an excessive amount of marketing for this film, and some people might not be optimistic about it because it's given everything away. I mean, I think everyone's going to go see it regardless, but that might turn people off. Also, this film is getting mixed reviews. And I remember Thor 2 got mixed reviews, and I think that might have hurt it a bit financially, whereas Captain America got stronger reviews, and it did pretty well. So yeah, I don't think it'll still do really well, it's just a matter of how well. Again, I might switch Transformers over. Yeah, I might just bump Transformers up. Or, actually, it's, like, really hard to tell. I'm going to debate on that, but I am pretty confident about my number one pick, which is How to Train Your Dragon 2, which is a bit of a gamble because it is a kids movie, but I think people underestimate the power of good kids movies. Now, I have no doubt this film will make a ton of money. I mean, for two reasons. Number one, it's How to Train Your Dragon. The first one, adored by people. Got critical praise. People love the movie. For some people, it's their favorite DreamWorks movie. I really enjoy it. So, a concept of what Bernalby people are probably pumped about it. DreamWorks has been doing a really nice job marketing it. It also has the benefit of the fact it's coming out early June, so it has plenty of time to make all the money it wants. Also, there's another benefit, which is that DreamWorks doesn't have to worry about Pixar this summer, because Pixar had their good dinosaur film coming out in May, but they delayed it to next year. So DreamWorks, is like the only really big animated film coming out this summer, and there aren't that many kids' movies, so parents don't have a choice. So yeah, don't have to worry about Pixar. Plus, the only animated film coming out is Planes, but I think the only people who care about that are little kids. Now, this is a bit of a gamble because it's going to make a lot of money, but it may or may not make the $1 billion club. I mean, it's going to make money because especially, like, you need to see this movie in 3D because of the flying sequences. What's going to push this movie... There's one factor that is going to determine whether or not this movie makes the $1 billion. Like, if this factor happens, I have no doubt this movie will be number one. The reviews. If this movie gets a lot of critical praise, if people really like this movie, if it's generally getting positive praise, like how Frozen and it made a lot of money via strong word of mouth. If this film is really good, it is going to hit $1 billion. If this is not just... Because Despicable Me 2, I think one of the reasons why it didn't hit $1 billion is because everyone saw it, but no one really cared about it. Whereas, let me give you an example. Shrek 2. DreamWorks' highest gross... That film made a lot of money. A lot of that had to do with the fact that it got really good reviews, and that people generally liked it. If How to Train Your Dragon 2 is a similar... Like, if this isn't just a whatever sequel, if this is a really, really good sequel that people love, I have no doubt it'll hit $1 billion. I mean, it'll make lots of money. I mean, look at Despicable Me 2 and how much money that movie made and no one cared about. If people care about this movie, it'll make a lot of money. Plus, keep in mind, How to Train Your Dragon 2, a fan base has grown for this movie over the year, in the 4 years it's come out. And yeah, but it needs to be good. If it's really good, I have no doubt it'll be number one. But if it... But if it's not good, I wouldn't be surprised if it found a lower. It's still gonna make tons of money. It's just if people love it, it'll join the $1 billion club. If not, it won't. But those are just my predictions. So, what are your predictions for summer movie? Please comment and let me know below. And as always, if you want to see more from me, just subscribe. JStars360 signing out.